I mean, it's definitely very, very euphoric, and it doesn't feel real. It's just like you don't believe it, and it's so hard to process that. Like that's because that's a real conversation that happened, and the irony of it was that person that was saying I love you," she's not in my life anymore. So it's like people say that the string can't be cut and the connection cannot be severed, but I feel like it can sometimes, and that's why I wanted to put Afterlife and all these songs that feel like endings and conclusions and goodbyes on the project to kind of solidify that message of this is the end of something, not the beginning.
Imagine this. A 15-year-old girl disappears, and months later, her body is discovered stuffed inside a Tesla. Now imagine that Tesla is registered to one of the hottest rising stars in R&B. That's not a movie script. That's real life. The girl was Celeste Rivas Hernandez. The artist is David Anthony Burke, the 20-year-old singer millions of fans know as David. And the story that's unfolding right now has the entire internet asking the same question. Did one of music's biggest breakout stars confess to a murder before it even happened? It all started in the most chilling way possible. Workers at a Hollywood tow yard noticed a foul smell coming from a Tesla that had been sitting there for weeks. When they opened the front trunk, what they found made them call police immediately. Inside, wrapped in plastic, was a black duffel bag containing human remains. Days later, those remains were identified as Celeste, a 15-year-old from Lake Elsinore who had been reported missing since April. That single discovery flipped a missing person case into a full-blown homicide investigation. And when reporters dug into the paperwork and saw that the Tesla was tied directly to David Burke, the shockwaves hit instantly. A rising star, a teenage victim, and a discovery straight out of a nightmare. The LAPD didn't waste time. Detectives searched a Hollywood Hills home connected to David. They pulled evidence, questioned people close to him, and confirmed that he was considered a person of interest. David canceled shows in Seattle and San Francisco, citing personal matters. His team rushed out a statement saying he was cooperating fully with authorities. But to the public, the silence from David himself said more than any press release could. No tweets, no Instagram stories, no live streams, just silence at the exact moment fans were desperate for answers. And that silence hit hard because of who David was before this scandal. Just 2 years earlier, he was a teenager making music in his sister's closet in Houston. He was just 17 when his breakout song, Romantic Homicide, went viral on TikTok. That track blew up so big it climbed to number 33 on the Billboard Hot 100, racking up over 1 billion streams. Suddenly, the kid who used to make music for Fortnite montages was playing Coachella, landing songs on major soundtracks, and topping the Billboard 200 with his debut album. That's why the betrayal cuts so deep, because now the internet is asking, was he telling us who he really was all along? While David's career was skyrocketing, Celeste Rivas Hernandez was just beginning her life. 15 years old, dreams of becoming a TikTok influencer. She connected with David in 2022 when she was only 12, joining his fan Discord server and posting a cover of Romantic Homicide. By early 2023, screenshots suggest David was calling her his muse, promising opportunities and telling her to keep their connection secret. To outsiders, it might have looked like a celebrity noticing a fan, but to her family, it was a red flag. On April 5th, 2024, Celeste was supposed to go see a movie with her brother. She never showed up. Her phone went offline after a Snapchat where she mentioned heading to Los Angeles for a cool opportunity. Friends later admitted she was excited about connecting with David. That was the last time anyone heard from her. For months, the case sat in limbo. Her family begged for answers. And then September came, and with it, the discovery in that Tesla. Fans were blindsided. On one side, you had people screaming betrayal. "I can't believe I defended him," one user posted, racking up thousands of likes. On the other side, diehard supporters swore he was being framed. They pointed to his tour schedule, saying he couldn't have been in LA when she vanished. Others claimed the leaks were deepfakes, designed to take him down. But the overwhelming reaction was shock. Shock that someone who built his career on emotional, vulnerable music could be tied to something so dark, and shock that the clues may have been sitting in his music this whole time. That's when fans started digging back into romantic homicide with fresh ears. Lines like, "I just wanted to see you bleed," once read as teenage angst, now feel like confessions. That debate is raging across TikTok and Reddit. Some say the writing was on the wall from the beginning. Others say people are twisting art into evidence. Either way, the song that made him famous has now become Exhibit A in the court of public opinion. For David, the walls are closing in. He may not have been charged yet, but the weight of the internet is heavy. His Spotify numbers spiked out of morbid curiosity. People wanting to hear if the lyrics really line up with the crime, but at the same time, boycotts spread. Fans say they can't listen anymore. Brands are pulling back. Venues are hesitant to book shows. His silence only fuels the fire, and every day that passes without him speaking directly makes it harder for him to control the narrative. The question hanging over everything is simple. What really happened to Celeste Rivas Hernandez? Was this a tragic case of grooming gone too far? Was it an elaborate setup to destroy one of music's brightest new stars? Or was it something in between, an argument that escalated into something no one could take back? Nobody knows yet, but what we do know is that this story isn't slowing down. It's only getting bigger. And when the next piece of evidence drops, whether it's lab results, phone data, or a statement from David himself, the internet is going to erupt all over again. Because this isn't just a crime story. This is a story about fame, power, and the danger of access. This is about how a superstar and a teenage fan crossed paths in ways that should have never happened. And this is about the internet's obsession with turning tragedy into spectacle. Whether you believe David is guilty or innocent, the one fact nobody can deny is that a young girl is gone, and her name deserves to be remembered. The story only gets more surreal from here, because once Celeste's body was identified and the Tesla tied back to David Anthony Burke, better known as D4vd, the internet went hunting, and what they claim to have found feels less like fan theories and more like a crime novel playing out in real time. At the center of it all is a leaked track that fans swear is a literal confession and a series of alleged Discord chats that read like step-by-step instructions for a cover-up. The track is called Celeste, and the day it surfaced online, everything changed. It wasn't just a snippet. It wasn't some random remix. It was a full 2-minute and 47-second ballad with vocals and production eerily matching his known work. But what made it viral wasn't the sound. It was the lyrics. He sings about a girl named Celeste by name, talks about tattoos, about smelling her scent on his clothes, about missing her so much it makes him depressed. And then, mid-song, the vocals cut abruptly like he realized he said too much and pulled the plug. People heard that and instantly called it a murder confession dressed up as art. The metadata only fueled the frenzy. Fans claimed the file was recorded in December of 2023 at a Hollywood home studio, months before Celeste disappeared in April 2024. If that timeline is accurate, it means David either predicted every detail of what was about to happen, or he planned it in advance. And when you layer that with the fact that the body wasn't discovered until September 2025, the implications are chilling. Suddenly, what once looked like a leak became evidence in the eyes of millions. The lyrics themselves are haunting. Oh, Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest, smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. The problem? Celeste did have a tattoo on her finger that said, shh. And months after she disappeared, David got the exact same tattoo himself. Fans say it wasn't random. They call it a trophy, a twisted way of immortalizing her after the fact. Then there's the line about smell on his clothes, which lined up disturbingly with reports from tow yard employees who said the Tesla reeked of rot when it was finally impounded. Suddenly, the song that sounded like a love letter started looking like a play-by-play, but the leaked track was just the tip of the iceberg. Around the same time, screenshots began circulating from his fan Discord server, known as David's Pedals. And these alleged chats were even darker than the song. One from April 2024, right after Celeste disappeared, read, "Celeste flipped out last night. Had to calm her permanent. Wrapped her tight in the frunk. Plastic from Amazon. Park it in Hollywood Hills. Let it sit till towed. No tickets yet." That message spread like wildfire. Fans couldn't believe the level of detail. Wrapped in the frunk matched how her remains were actually found, stuffed into a duffel bag, sealed with plastic in the Tesla's front trunk. The match was too close for people to brush off. Another chat showed the account saying, "Tour alibi covers me. Send 1,000 each for silence. She's gone quiet forever now." Like the song, that last line hit like a punch. Tying Celeste's death directly to his lyrics? That's not just disturbing, that's bragging. And if real, it suggests someone who thought his fame would shield him from consequences. Then came the tattoo theory. Celeste's finger tattoo was visible in old TikToks she posted in 2023. After she disappeared, David showed off an identical tattoo on his own finger in September 2024. At the time, fans thought it was a cute coincidence. Now, in hindsight, it looks like either a twisted tribute or a possession symbol. Some say he got it as a memorial, others say he wore it like a trophy. Either way, people see it as disturbing. It's one of those details that might mean nothing or everything. Social media detectives didn't stop there. On TikTok, edits began blowing up where fans lined up the leaked lyrics with crime scene reports. Clips showed the line about smelling her clothes over images of the Tesla being hauled away. Others spliced the bridge lyric about Celeste with pictures from the vigil, making the parallels hit even harder. Some edits racked up 50 million views, with captions like, "He told us in the music," and "This ain't art, it's evidence." Hashtags like hashtag Justice for Celeste and hashtag D4vd leaks crossed over 1 billion views in a matter of days. It wasn't just music fans watching anymore, it was the entire internet weighing in. Of course, not everyone was convinced. Some fans doubled down on the idea that it was a setup. They claimed the leaked track could have been AI generated, that metadata can be faked, and that Discord screenshots are the easiest thing in the world to fabricate. They pointed to his tour schedule as proof, saying he was performing in different cities when she vanished. But their voices were drowned out by the mob. For every one person defending him, 100 were calling him a monster. That split created 3 main theories online. The first, and most popular, is that David is guilty of premeditated murder. People in this camp say the leaked track, the tattoos, and the Discord messages are too specific to be coincidence. The second theory is the frame job. Supporters believe rival producers, obsessive fans, or even haters faked everything to destroy him, taking advantage of his rising fame. And the third theory is somewhere in the middle, that Celeste's death was accidental during a fight, and David panicked and covered it up. That theory gained traction after one leaked chat allegedly showed him saying, "Celeste flipped out last night, had to calm her." To some, that reads less like a plan and more like an argument gone too far. The craziest part? Every time one of these rumors hit, streams for his music jumped. Romantic Homicide saw a 300% spike. People wanted to hear the so-called clues for themselves. They wanted to play detective, replaying every line with a new lens. It's the twisted effect of scandal. When people are horrified, they can't look away. And in this case, horror turned into clicks, and clicks turned into streams. But those streams don't mean support. They mean curiosity. And curiosity won't save a career that's circling the drain. With every new leak, fans felt more betrayed. Some admitted they couldn't listen without feeling sick. Others swore they'd never defend another artist the same way again. It wasn't just about the music anymore, it was about trust. And once that trust is gone, it doesn't come back. That's why hashtags calling for boycotts gained traction, even as streams spiked. It was less about supporting him and more about analyzing him like a case file. The idea that David not only killed Celeste, but bragged about it through music and messages is the kind of scandal that takes on a life of its own. Whether it's true or not almost doesn't matter anymore. The damage is already done. His silence makes it worse, and the internet isn't waiting for the LAPD to confirm anything. In their eyes, the trial has already happened, and the verdict is guilty. By the time the leaks and theories reached peak chaos, the fallout for David Anthony Burke was already in motion. The industry doesn't wait around when scandal this loud hits. His Withered World Tour, which just months earlier had been selling out venues, started crumbling fast. Seattle shows canceled, San Francisco postponed, and insiders whispered that more cities were pulling out behind the scenes. Sponsors moved quiet but quick. Any company with his face in their campaign hit delete. His name vanished from playlists on Spotify. PR teams scrubbed. That's how you know the industry was already bracing for the worst. And here's the wild part. While his official numbers dipped, his streaming totals spiked. People weren't streaming out of support. They were streaming out of morbid curiosity. They wanted to hear the confession for themselves. They wanted to dissect romantic homicide all over again, searching for hidden clues they swear they missed the first time. The tragedy here is that Celeste herself is lost in the noise. A 15-year-old girl with her whole life ahead of her, now remembered more as a plot point in a scandal rather than as a daughter, a friend, and a dreamer. But at her vigil, that was the only thing that mattered. Candles, flowers, friends sharing memories, her mother crying into the microphone. Those moments cut through the internet noise and remind us this isn't just drama. This is real. A child is gone. And no rumor, no leak, no song can change that. So what's next? Right now, detectives are running DNA analysis, checking Tesla GPS logs, cross-referencing phone data, and pulling toxicology reports from Celeste's remains. They want to know exactly when she died, how she died, and who was with her. They're mapping out a timeline of every moment between April 5th, when she vanished, and September 8th, when her body was found. But if they can tie those digital breadcrumbs to David, it's game over. If they can't, the rumors may collapse under their own weight. Either way, the truth is coming, and it's going to hit like a bomb. David's silence isn't helping him. Fans say if he was innocent, he'd speak, he'd post, he'd fight. Instead, his only moves have been canceled shows and statements through lawyers. His team insists the leaks are coincidental art twisted into lies. But when you say coincidental art while a girl's body is literally tied to your car, that doesn't sit right. It sounds tone deaf. So let me ask you, where do you stand? Do you believe the leaked lyrics and Discord chats are undeniable proof? Do you think David was framed in the most elaborate setup the internet has ever seen? Or do you think the truth lies somewhere in the middle, with an argument that spiraled out of control? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know which theory makes the most sense to you. Also hit the like button so this reaches more people who want the raw story without the sugarcoating. And subscribe, because when the next official update drops, we'll be right here breaking it down. This story isn't over. In fact, the biggest twist might still be coming.